You best be aware, 'cause all is fair in love and war. If you can't stand the heat, don't come in the kitchen. Bring you pain is my new addiction. Been the other way around for far too long. Now you're gonna find out what it's like to be wronged. Well, all is fair in love and war. You pull no brakes when you're riding to the core. All is fair in love and war. You best be aware, 'cause all is fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war. Where you pull no brakes when you're riding to the core. Yeah, yeah. All is fair in love and war. You best be aware, 'cause all is fair. Oh, all is fair in love and war. You pull no brakes when you're riding to the core. Yeah. All is fair in love and war. You best be aware, 'cause all is fair in love and war.
Welcome to Tennessee and North Wilkesboro Speedway. It is me. I am back this week for Die Hard Racing League, the Grand National Series. We are in round 7 of 10 here, and we are at the most historic track on the schedule. That would be North Wilkesboro Speedway, the only track on the schedule that doesn't really hold races anymore. Joining me in the booth will be the guys that were leading the broadcast last week. That would be Frank Marchese and Tony Trapasso. We're going to start with you, Frank. We were here about a week ago with another league in trucks, but the classic car is going to be a different thing altogether, I think.
Yeah, I've watched and been a part of with ESPN for multiple races here at North Wilkesboro, and not one of them has disappointed. And with these cars, as tough as they are to drive, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic race, a true throwback for ESPN tonight.
Yeah, and Tony, you like your throwback racing just as much as we do. What are you expecting out of this one tonight?
Well, judging from the practice times that I've seen, this is going to be a real barn burner. I mean, you got some names sitting at the top of the pile already that don't normally see. You know, you got 75 with Jeremy Johnson. You know, almost 70 thousandths to the good over Nathan Rue. I mean, yeah, you got Rue at the top and Dale Robertson making his return. Chuck Sweeting, you know, those four guys, the only ones under 19 seconds so far. You know, this track, these cars, it brings me back to, you know, when I was a young man.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very tentative race here. We've got 12 drivers. Not the biggest field we've seen with these guys this season, but definitely good to see them along for the ride anyway. Just going to add something because I completely forgot about it. But guys, this season coming to an end. We had our first repeat winner last week at Watkins Glen. Just give us a quick recap of what happened last week, if you can remember.
Well, Nathan Rue just basically was the glass of the field, plain and simple. You know, that guy in these cars is dangerous. He is the Die Hard Racing Series version of Tim Richmond. You know, of course, Tim taken from us too soon, but you know, it's very fitting that Nathan Rue is driving the number 25 Folgers car, because when Tim Richmond was behind the wheel of that car on a road course, good luck keeping up with him.
Yeah, no, Nathan drove an absolutely fantastic race, and I believe it was Chuck Sweeting who was right up there with him at the end and was putting the fight to him. Unfortunately, just didn't have enough time. But yeah, Nathan Rue, by far and away, as we've seen all season long, he had the little slip up at Rockingham by having the wrong setup in, but he by far and away was the class of the field last week.
Yeah, that guy definitely knows how to tune these cars. As a matter of fact, a lot of his teammates rely on him to give them something to start with, and then they just kind of fine tune and tweak to fit their driving style. But I mean, this guy knows how to set these cars up, and hats off him for the season that he's put forth so far.
Yeah.
But don't count out Chuck Sweeting. I mean, Chuck is still leading the points by a massive margin.
As the checkered flag comes out for the open practice right now, we are going to go straight into qualifying, and let's see who's going to be the first one out on the out of the blocks here for qualifying. And I'm waiting to see who's going to start moving first, and it's going to be Jeremy Johnston, the man you just mentioned just there, Tony.
Yeah, Jeremy Johnson is got a setup in that 75 that was impressive during practice. It's going to be real fun to see what he can put down in qualifying trim. Looks like he's going to abort his first lap.
Yeah,
and very smart by him pulling over before he hit the start line, so he still has those 2 laps. He must not have liked the way he got into turn 3, and you really have to work on, really focus on your exits through these quarters if you want to have a fast lap, and there was something he clearly didn't like.
Gil Gork out on track right now, starting his qualifying run in that 85 machine. Let's see what he can put down as he goes flying off into the turn, and comes out of turn 4. Let's see what he puts down for his first lap. And it will actually Marcus Wilkie going to the top of the board first, and then Gil Gork takes it away straight away with a 19.120. Very short lap around here, guys. Going to be a very quick race here tonight. Only 110 laps.
175.
Oh yeah, whatever.
You know, only 65 laps off as Johnston went to the top, and then Rue took it away by 0.04 of a second. So Rue showing that pace he's shown all year.
Yep, he is right there in the mix as always. John Schultz dropping up to P4. Mark Eigenbro, good to see him back this week. He is in P7. Just waiting on more times. Dale Robertson in the Cornflakes car, just coming round now in towards turns 3 and 4. Let's see what he can come up with. And Robertson's been a bit hit and miss this season. Hopefully he has a good race this time around. He gets up to P3, so pretty good to start with. Here comes Chuck Sweeting on his lap as well.
Yeah, and Robertson he's had the issue of the long run car. He's had great short run pace, and I believe the last time we saw him racing was Darlington a couple of weeks ago. He had a good short run car, just the long run has not been there for Dale Robertson this year.
Chuck Sweeting.
Chuck Sweeting to the top of the pile.
Wow, great time for Chuck Sweeting, the points leader. Really showed the guys what it takes to be at the top. Here comes Brian Bennett. He's back again this week as well in that number 3. Wrangler Machine coming down towards the line. Let's see what he can put down as he comes through 3 and... No, he's already put a time in. No, he's coming to put a time in now. Never mind. This is what happens when you take a week off and just do producing for 1 week.
17th, and we're seeing a lot of guys. The top 7 are all within about 2.5 tenths of each other. So a lot of close competition here, as I believe Bruce Pearson's the only one that hasn't set a time. He still has plenty of time left, but he has not shown any interest in going out so far.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can we talk about the elephant in the room right now? As I'm looking at the point standings, and Chuck Sweeting here sitting on point. Nathan Rue here, going to start outside row number 1 as of so far. Corey Brown, 3rd place in points, not here yet.
Yeah, and Corey Brown was a late entry last week at Watkins Glen. So that's still about a minute to go, but yeah, it's not looking good for the 3rd place guy in points.
No, it's not, as we are ticking down towards the end of qualifying here, and going to be very interesting to see if he does make it in last minute. It's going to be very close, as Bruce Pearson is going to come out of pit road.
Well, he left it to the death, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, Frank, I got to ask you, is there enough time left in the season, do you think, for Nathan Rue to overcome the 47-point deficit that he's got right now over between him and Chuck Sweeting in the point standings?
There are a lot of short tracks that are coming up. I know we're here. I believe Bristol is next week, and I think the end of the season, the last race of the year, is at Martinsville. So there's a lot of time. If you think you can't make it up, there's ways you can manipulate it to where you might bump him out of the way at one of these races. So I think he's got some resemblance of time. 47 points, especially in the old championship, in the old standings, really isn't an insurmountable deficit. It's more than one race in today's, but back in the 80s, no, I wouldn't say he's out of it yet.
So with qualifying out of the way, we are going to go straight to the grid for tonight's race. And remember, this series being sponsored by Summit Sim Racing, been a sponsor all season long, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be with us for season 2 as well. But let's go to the qualifying for the grid for tonight's race, and starting up on the pole when it comes up. Thank you. Is Chuck Sweeting putting a great time in of an 18.909. He'll be joined on that front row by Nathan Rue. Row 2 will be Jeremy Johnson and Dale Robertson. Row 3 will be Kevin Turker and Gil Gork. Row 4 will be Brian Bennett and Randall Folks. Row 5 will be John Schultz and Bruce Pearson, and bringing up the rear of the field will be, once I get to it, Marcus Wilkie and Mark Eigenbrod. Yeah. Well qualified for Eigenbrod.
Yeah, he had something go on during his qualifying run, and he just decided to go with it. He ran a 19.428 in practice, which I believe put him in like the top 8 or 9. So he definitely has more pace in that car than he was leading on.
Absolutely, as we are getting ready to go here. They're going to go 2 times around this track before we let them go under anger. Only 12 cars entered into this race here tonight, and unfortunately a pretty short field for this one. Hopefully by next week we should have the full fields back up again, but for now, just a short amount of cars around here. Probably about a right number for North Wilkesboro, guys. Am I right in that assumption?
Yeah, with as small as this track is, you can't pack 42 cars around here and not expect carnage. So, I mean, yes, we do have a short field. This is probably going to be about the right size to put up some really good racing tonight.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. We've seen, even last week, I think there was, 22, and that was a lot of great racing all over the place. There's going to be a lot of great racing here. It doesn't matter how many cars are in the field.
So as they start their second lap around on their formation lap, let's focus in on the start of this race as they come down the backstretch right now. Tony, I'll leave it up to you.
This field works its way down the back straightaway. Chuck Sweeting, Nathan Rue, behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. They work their way into the 3-4 complex. The only thing that's really left to say is pull those belts tight one more time, Grandpa, pop Viagra, because it's time to get it on in North Wilkesboro.
He tried. Bless him. As they go flying into turn 1. Chuck Sweeting hold on to the lead. Look at Jeremy Johnson, though, looking to the inside of Nathan Rue coming out of turn 2. Big drag race towards turn 3, and Johnston might have that one as they come out of turn 4, Frank.
Yeah, we saw the outside line was very good at defending last week in the trucks. Wonder how well that's going to translate over to these 87 cars. But the outside line, not really a death sentence in these cars. You can keep them wound up there, keep the defend your position hard.
Yeah, Nathan Rue looks like he might lose another one here, as here comes Dale Robertson on the inside out of turn 4. Doesn't quite have the speed, but here comes Jeremy Johnston looking to the inside of Chuck Sweeting as well. Doesn't quite get there either, so that outside line already starting to come into play here, guys.
As see, now we're starting to even out here as the field. There's no side-by-side anywhere throughout the field, and Rue slots in behind the 75 as Chuck Sweeting goes into turn 1 a little deep.
Yeah, and it's going to be intensive racing as here comes Rue again to the inside of Jeremy Johnson and takes that second place back. Good recovery there by the 25, but it's very difficult to pick a decent line around here. I mean, the corners are slightly banked and a bit off camber, so it can be a bit difficult to find a decent line around here. Am I right in that assumption, Tony?
I think he might have disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it definitely is, and it's a gradual standard banking. It's not one of those the gradient banking mix that you see around the tracks now. But one thing I am seeing here, just because you have one lap pace doesn't mean you have overall pace, and I think the 75 has fallen back a couple of spots now. That might be an issue he's facing.
Jeremy Johnson falling from 2nd to 4th in the space of 2 laps. As look at Kevin Turcotte looking to the back of him now. He's got Randall Folks, and Folks has been very impressive in the second half of the first season here, Frank. He's shown a lot of pace there, but he does make the odd mistake here and there. He made quite a few mistakes at Watkins Glen last week.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of issues at Darlington as well after winning at Michigan. So if he's a very good driver, very solid driver, can put in solid performances week after week if he can just keep the car on the circuit.
It did have a bit of rub off the wall there, trying to get around Kevin Turcotte. He does get around Turcotte as everybody getting spread out now. Let's look a bit further back in the field. We've seen a bit of a battle here with Mark Eigerbroad trying to get around Bruce Pearson. Marcus Wilkie has fallen well off the pace. He's nowhere near the back of the field right now, as we've got a battle here between John Schultz, Bruce Pearson and Mark Eigerbroad right now.
Yeah, this little trio trying to battle it out, create some entertainment for themselves. Now, these group of guys not really been up front at all over the course of the season, but when they do get around each other, they have had very solid, very entertaining races at the mid to the rear field.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go and try and find Marcus Wilkie. He's all by himself at the back of the field. He didn't pit start either, so not showing a lot of pace there in that number 23. Let's go back to the front of the field, though, which are catching Marcus Wilkie already. So they might have some lap traffic to deal with, and it looks like Rue and Sweeting have completely left Dale Robertson and Jeremy Johnson behind there.
Yeah, Robertson was keeping up with Rue for a little while, and then as this run has gone on, as I mentioned during qualifying, it's been the long run pace for Robertson that has been his Achilles heel this year. And I might have spoken too soon, as there goes Jeremy Johnston for third place. So he might actually have the pace. Just take a minute for the car to come in.
Yeah, they're side by side coming across in towards turns 3 and 4. Johnston going to dive it down low, and he does take that third place back again. So jockeying to and throw. It looks like Robertson almost got into the wall there going towards turn 1.
Yeah, Falks and Turkett fighting behind them. Falks on the inside in the 51. Turkett makes the pass on the outside in that number 84 channel lock machine, as Wilkie getting lapped a little bit further ahead. And this little group will be catching him in the next lap or so, Sam.
Yeah, and welcome back to the booth, Tony. I apologize for making you overextend your voice there. I hope you're not doing too badly.
Oh no, it wasn't even that. It was, the whole thing of my Wi-Fi or my connection contains the word Wi-Fi in it. So I lost TeamSpeak.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's go back to the battle here. Randall Falks made a bit of a mistake there, and that's what we were talking about there, Frank. Makes those little mistakes, and it costs him dearly, and it's going to cost him very badly now, as both Gil Gork and Brian Bennett both get around him now.
Yeah, it's been about 3 laps, and he's fallen just about as many positions. He's driving the car in way too deep. This is the second or third lap in a row here that he's just slid the car through turn 1, and that is, and here he goes again, sliding it through 3 and 4, just driving the wheels off of that thing, driving it beyond its limits right now.
Yeah,
and we've got a drag race for the lead as Nathan Rue on the low side and Chuck Sweeting able to keep it wound up in that second lane. Those guys are just throwing bombs at each other right now as Rue gets the advantage coming off the floor, and we've got a new leader.
Yep, Nathan Rue up to the point now as he was last week. Had a titanic battle for that win, though, and wants to try and make things a bit more easier for himself this time around, as we see Chuck Sweeting taking a dive to the inside there, almost caught the left rear of the 25, had to back it out pretty quickly, and Jeremy Johnston's starting to reel these two in as well now.
Yeah, while you guys are watching that up front, I've stayed on Randall Falks, and he is drifting, power sliding, whatever you want to call it, through every single corner. That car and he are having a major disagreement right now, and the car is winning.
Oh, and he's just called it.
Is that a lag? Yep, he has manually disconnected, so the car won.
Does he know Tyler Vickery or something?
I was about to ask the same question.
Anyway, Nathan Rue still leading this thing. Chuck Sweeting in a second. Look at Jeremy Johnston reeling these guys in now. I think he's found some pace in that number 75 Valvoline machine, Tony.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. He was running up there early, fell back a little bit, and I'm thinking that car is starting to come in. He got his rhythm, he got his groove, and he's starting to reel these guys in. So look for Johnson to be up there for the long haul.
Yep. As Rue starting to put some distance between himself and Chuck Sweeting. Don't expect Chuck Sweeting to be falling back for long, though. He usually does try and find those lines to try and get closer to him, try and find the best way around possible, but not working at the moment. Johnston is reeling him in still. Dale Robertson in no man's land right now. He's 3 seconds. No, he's 2.5 seconds back off Johnston and 2.5 ahead of Turkett. So Dale Robertson in between a rock and a hard place here, Frank.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he has fallen off that group. But I've been watching Jeremy Johnston these last couple laps. That guy is on a rail right now. He's not sliding up. he is riding the exact line he intends to drive that car in. We spoke about Fawkes and his car having an issue with each other. Jeremy Johnson and his car, complete and total harmony.
Absolutely. As they make their way through 3 and 4, they're going to come around Marcus Wilkie once again very soon. As these three starting to tighten up ever so slightly. It looks like Sweeting has reeled Ruin again as they go around Wilkie one more time and put him 2 laps down already. I mean, we're only on lap 28 now, and Wilkie's already 2 laps down. He is another one that's really struggling here tonight.
Yeah, this is kind of...
I'm thinking that he just completely missed on the setup. He didn't get a lot of practice in, and he may possibly have done what Nathan Rue did a couple weeks ago and just put the wrong setup in the car for the race.
Yeah, but this is also indicative, unfortunately, and I don't like to say this, but this is also indicative of what we've seen from Marcus Wilkie all season long. Granted, it hasn't quite been this far off the pace, but he has not had it just this season. It could just be the set of tracks, but he has not been up to pace this season.
Absolutely not, as we've got the top 3 still pulling away from Dale Robertson, now 5 seconds clear of the number 5. And look at Johnson there. He did take a little look at Chuck Sweeting there, Tony. He's getting closer.
He's thinking about it, but he also realizes that he can't do it yet without putting both he and Chuck into extreme danger.
Yeah, and every look that Johnston makes, they're falling a little bit further back and a little bit further back from Nathan Rue. So maybe they're going to try to straighten themselves out here just to get back up to him and then start fighting again. But they've been falling off since they started fighting.
And remember, we do have green flag pit stops to come as well if it does stay green. I'm pretty sure it will with only 11 cars on the track, so we should have that to look forward to. But Johnston and Sweeting look like they're still going to battle it out. Johnston did take another look underneath again, but was still too far back as Rue almost a second to the good over the 54 as Sweeting makes a mistake there, runs wide through 1 and 2. And somehow is able to stay ahead of the 75 here.
Yeah, that was a really, really late entry there from Sweeting. Got out in the marbles. Just able to keep the car wound up. These cars are very momentum. They're momentum reliant. If you can keep that momentum on the outside, you can defend very well.
Yes, it looks like he's choosing that line deliberately to try and get some more rubber. Try and pick up some more rubber maybe to keep the grip on his tyres, but it's helping Jeremy Johnston more because he's getting that inside line out of turn 2.
Yeah, he's not getting the run
off
of the corner that Sweeting is getting, which is allowing him
there we go
to stay up there, but this might be the end of it here.
So Jeremy Johnson getting underneath Chuck Sweeting and takes away that second place at the finally as Sweeting does take that wide line once again. So he's up to something in that number 54. We're not quite sure what it is.
He's trying to straight line the exit. He's coming in high and trying to straight line it off the corner to get as much straightaway speed as he can. You saw him do it last time. Let's see if he does it here again. He's not quite as wide. He's coming off the corner right on the grass, trying to get that car as straight as possible for exit.
Yeah, and they're coming up on Marcus Wilkie again to put another lap on him.
Schultz,
oh, it's actually John Schultz, okay. So Schultz falling away from the rest of the field there, having a few problems in that number 17 Tide Ride. Mark Eichenbrod on his own, Bruce Pearson pretty much on his own. And Gilgorg's still... Actually, Gilgorg's been passed by Brian Bennett somewhere. We didn't quite see that, but... Gork now down to P7. Brian Bennett up to P6, but Bennett has a 2.9 second gap to make up to get up to Kevin Turcotte here, Tony.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that Gil Gawk over the scanner, he's telling his team that the tires on that 85 are whooped. So Gil Gawk's in trouble tonight.
and actually, Sam, you were right. They were coming up on Marcus Wilkie. Schultz was there as well, but that's Wilkie down 3 laps, and Schultz now the only other car 1 lap down. And he clipped the grass and almost went up into the 75.
That wouldn't have pleased the 75 Valvoline driver as he goes around him on the outside. He's got Chuck Sweeting to come up to him next. Has John Schultz as it's going to be interesting. They will get mixed in lap traffic, and we saw this on Tuesday. I'm not sure if you guys saw that broadcast, but they were at Lucas Oil, and when they got into the traffic, it was very difficult to negotiate around it, and that's what caused the epic battle we saw between Hollingsworth and Brian Barnes. But a bit of a short field this time round. They probably won't have too much trouble making their way around lap traffic at this point.
It all depends on where and when they catch the lap traffic. Hopefully, like it's been, they don't catch 2 guys battling for a position, because then it's going to be a nightmare to try to get by them if you're looking to put them a lap down. And nobody wants to be that guy, and we all know what I mean when I say that guy.
Yeah, that and Lucas Oil. There's really only 1 lane to drive there, and that's the middle. The outside lane's tucked up a little too close to the wall to be able to get a solid run. The inside line is flat as you like, flatter than 4 o'clock. But that's part of the problem with ORP, is that it's a 1-line track, which makes lap traffic very difficult to get around.
Oh, Jeremy Johnston very close to the wall coming out of turn 2 there. That was first you say it, then you do it kind of moment, Tony. I'm sorry to steal your words there.
That's okay. I can't use them right now.
But anyway, while we were talking about Lucas Oil Raceway and the race that happened on Tuesday, don't forget on Sunday we will have our first ever ESPN recap show, hosted by myself, Tony, and Frank, if you're available. Just recapping what has happened over the week and bring some other stuff to you. Basically like a podcast type thing, but just a recap show. I don't know. We haven't ironed out the finer details yet, have we, Tony?
3 schmucks in a booth talking crap about what we saw all week.
Pretty much. Yep. So this race really starting to level out right now, and not really anything going on. Gil Gork trying to stay on the back of Brian Bennett, and Chuck Sweeting trying to stay on the back of Jeremy Johnston. Not really happening there. The only thing we're really waiting for right now is green flag pit stops, and they can't be that far away as we start lap 50 of 175 here.
Yeah, no, these guys have been going for quite a while, and you can see they're starting to spread out. Some guys are moving up, some guys are moving back, and that is pure indication of tire wear playing a factor.
Nathan Rue makes his way around Mark Eigelbrod and puts him a lap down, and at this rate, the way Rue is going, and let's not forget the fact that he's now 2 seconds ahead of Jeremy Johnston. Don't forget the fact that he could lap the whole field here at the pace he's going right now.
Yeah, I would say that's a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely, if this thing stays green, there might possibly be a chance of it.
As he's coming up to Bruce Pearson to put a lap on him now, so he's lapped up to P9. P8 will be the next one to go a lap down, as everybody really spread out now. Nothing really going on as competition goes, as we're looking at Jeremy Johnston just coming up behind Mark Eigelbrod now to put him a lap down as well. And Johnston still using that big slide out of turn 2, almost collecting the wall there, Tony. He's got to be careful of that. If he slides it too far, he's going to end up in that wall.
Yeah, he is. But the good news is, with these cars, you can get away with a brush or 2 on the wall and not completely destroy the car, as opposed to how aero-dependent the new version of the Cup car is, the 2020 version. You breathe wrong on the fenders of that car, and you've lost 2 miles an hour at Daytona or Talladega. Whereas this car, you can pretty much kick it in the door and be fine.
Good old sheet metal. I love it. Anyway, that's Jeremy Johnston right there. We've had Dale Robertson in pit road. I missed that one while we were talking. So we've had one green flag pit stop already.
Good job, Sam.
I know, right?
You're fired.
Like I said, I take 1 week away from commentating, and look what happens. The whole thing goes to pot. Anyway,
Hair shaped, I think you guys would say over in Jolly Old.
You stupid.
yeah, I am. Anyway, waiting to see who the next man to come down pit road is. And talking about Dale Robertson, you were talking about that long run pace that he has. It looks like he's struggling with it again here, Frank. Having to make that pit stop early just to save his tires.
Yeah, he had a big problem with that at Darlington. As I mentioned, he wasn't here last week for Watkins Glen, but if there is one Achilles heel for Dale Robertson, it has been the long run pace all season long, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have Talladega circled on his calendar, because that was his best overall through and through performance of the season. Was back when season 1 started at Daytona.
I'm still hoping to see blowovers. We didn't get them at Daytona. As we do we have our first top 5 pit stop happening right now. Here comes Kevin Turkett into pit road. Let's see what he can do during his pit stop, as he hits his marks pretty nicely there.
My assumption would be in the next 5 laps or so, we're going to see somebody in the top 3 come in, and then that's going to pull the other 2 in.
Yeah. Well, they're going to see. Hopefully, we're going to see the domino effect happen here with Turkett coming in straight from the top 5. Let's see how he fares. He's already lost the position to Dale Robertson through the pit stop. So Robertson has actually put him a further lap down as well through that. So early pit stop for Robertson. He's probably going to be off sync from Turkett, but Turkett now being caught 2 laps down there by that pit stop. But that's about normal for. As Turkett has a big problem there.
Oh yeah, he's in the pit lane again. He must have had a big slide off in the middle of 3 and 4. He's blinking a little bit on my camera, so I can't necessarily see what's happened. But yeah, he had a big slide in the middle of 3 and 4. Lucky to keep it off of that inside guardrail. Otherwise, that would have been a big old problem for him. And I think he's called it a night.
Yeah,
it was going to be a big old problem to begin with, because he was going to get unsafe pit entry because he came through the grass, not between the cones.
Yeah, that was a big one there. As what do you see? Caution.
Chuck Sweeting.
Oh no. Problems there for the championship leader. Let's take a look and see what happens.
Lost it on his own.
Yeah. And that's the thing about old tires. They can break out on you out of nothing, and Sweeting. Oh, that might put pay to his. Well, you were saying earlier, Tony, that what has Rue got to do to regain that lead back, and with damage like that, Chuck Sweeting might have gave him some of them points back.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what Chuck was hoping for tonight, because he's now got to spend the time to what the hell?
He just drove straight through.
Robertson's called it a night as well here, guys.
Oh, wow. So we've got wholesale pit stops right now. We've got Rue in. We've got Johnston in. Brian Bennett is in as well. Chuck Sweeting is not being in.
Gil Gawk is in.
Chuck Sweeting just drove down pit road. Like, he didn't go in, he just drove down pit road and right back out on the track without fixing anything. I think right now he's trying to catch the pace car.
Yeah, that would be right, as we've got Schultz, Wilkie.
And he spins it again.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Boy,
Sweet.
This come crumbling down for Sweeting.
Yeah. And we might see our 4th retirement of the night. That's going to leave us with only 8 drivers left on the track, and that's.
I think he might have too much rear brake in the car, because that's the second time the same exact thing happened. The back end just came around on him under brakes.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see if he's going to take new tires and fuel. He's probably going to stay in there and pit farm it, but not going to help him in the long run. He's probably going to end up going a lap down, as there is Nathan Rue. He did get out in the lead ahead of Jeremy Johnson. Brian Bennett will be promoted up to third now.
The pace car's coming out of turn 4 now, hitting the line, and he's going to stay on the lead lap.
Wow.
He does have to remember, though, to take those tires off before he comes in again if he wants to fix damage.
Yeah. Depends on how long the pace truck is going to stay out there for. I mean, we're looking to see Schulte is in pit road as well now. Lights are still on the pace truck, so...
Well, being as it's a paved track under 1 mile, it should be between 5 and 6 pace laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweeting
Look
stays
for the
out.
lights to go out this time.
Yeah. So, what were you saying about Sweeting there? Sorry, Frank.
I was saying he decides to stay out, so that is either the pace car coming in this lap, or I would have to assume that's made the decision for him.
Yeah.
We've seen this a lot this season. Eigebrod and Gawk are going to start ahead of the leader as the tail end of the lead lap cars.
As we go back
This
to green.
is the way it used to be in the Cup Series.
Yeah. Oh, look at Rue there, really forcing his way past Gilgork, and Johnston's going to try and do the same here. And Rue saying, look, I'm the leader, let me by, please.
Yeah. Yeah, we've heard from Seth Schultz, they've been trying to avoid this. They've been trying to work past wave arounds and stuff like that to try to avoid that happening. But yes, this is 100% how it used to be. Now the tail end of the lead lap cars. We got a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, and here comes Johnston to the inside of Nathan Rue. Big dive down towards turns 3 and 4. And Jeremy Johnston. Yeah, he did send it, and he is now your new leader here at North Wilkesboro.
Speaking of sending it, look who's back up in third.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting still finding some...
Right back.
Yeah, still finding some speed in that number 54 somehow. Well, this is not... It's not really a speed important track, this is... Really, is it? No.
Yeah, no, and he didn't really... He didn't hit that turn 4 wall all that hard. So it probably just crinkled the nose up a little bit, but other than that, he should be fine. As Tony was mentioning, these things are built like tanks. They're not aero dependent like the new cars are.
And the thing is, with the fact that the fenders are now bowed out, it looks like a pavement late model from that. That could very well help him with the cornering.
Just a happy accident is what Chuck Sweeting had. He had a happy little accident.
If he wins this one, it'll definitely be a happy accident. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, Mark Eigebrod, the only driver that's not pitted yet, he's done 74 laps on those tyres. I'm not really surprised that he's a lap down and going slowly right now.
Yeah, no, and he's played this game a couple of times this year to where he's stayed out for long periods of time and tried to only make it a 1-stop or maybe a 2-stop race. So this is what he's been doing all season long.
Yeah, as we still see this battle for the lead here between Johnston and Rue. Rue wanted that lead back. Johnston not willing to give it to him easily. You can see that there. Looked like Johnston came down the track there to get into turns 1 and 2. Shut the door on Nathan Rue and not let him have any inch of a gap there. As Ashley, just as I say that, Johnston makes a big mistake coming out of turn 4. Almost gave Rue that gap that he was looking for. But still stays in the lead.
And these guys were 1 and 2 in practice and 2 and 3 in qualifying. So these guys are quick around this track, and we're seeing the duel as Rue goes to the inside of Johnston.
Drag race towards turn 1 and give that one to Nathan Rue at the line. Still side by side coming out of 2. Johnston's going to need some mega speed coming out of this one to keep the lead. He's not going to get it. We're going to keep it wound up on the high side coming through 3 and 4 though, but there goes Rue. Gets the clear and gets that lead back almost as quickly as he lost it there, Frank.
And that's the power of his car. we've been mentioning how easy it is. Oh, wow, was Johnston had to make a hard left to avoid just sliding up into Wilkie. But that's the power that Rue's car has. We talked about how the outside line, you keep it wound up, it's easy to defend. Rue just drove it right past him, and Johnston is not done with that 25.
Yeah. As you see, Nathan Rue right there. Really under pressure now by Jeremy Johnson. Johnson trying to get the lead back away from the 25. Not really working out so far as they make their way through 1 and 2. Let's go back to Chuck Sweet and see how he's handling his slightly wounded car. Not doing too badly. He might have had to change the brake bias in that one though, Tony.
Wilkie sliding.
If we stay green, though, Wilkie was real sideways. But, yeah, he's definitely going to have to adjust the brake bias that he was running. It was running just a little too much for those worn-out tires. And I'm wondering if Gil Gawk made any chassis adjustments under the under the caution, because he's starting to find pace in that 85.
Unfortunately, he's a lap down, though, so he's going to have to try and get that lap back if he wants to mount a challenge for any kind, at least a podium here. There's only 4 people left on the lead lap here, and I'm still sticking to my prediction that Nathan Rue is going to lap everybody in this race, apart from Jeremy Johnson.
And that's what happens sometimes. You come in pit early, and then something happens. Caution comes out. We've seen that a lot in this season. Is something happens in the pit cycle, and half the field gets caught a lap down. And without the benefit of wave arounds and lucky dogs, they're unfortunately trapped there.
Yep, as we're approaching lap 87 of 175. We are pretty much halfway now. So definitely a quiet one here tonight, but definitely a very competitive one with certain clusters around here. Obviously, we've got Rue and Johnston in a battle here. We've got Sweeting getting into the wars and having a meeting of the minds with the wall and still able to keep it going. Brian Bennett is still in this one, and he's the last driver on the lead lap. So good to see him having a good run here tonight. Your 3 retirements so far tonight, though. 3 big hitters here tonight, Tony. Dale Robertson, Kevin Turker, and Randall Fox. 3 big hitters out already here tonight. Oh, Frank, I'll leave the floor open.
I'm looking at Jeremy Johnson's car. Does he have damage on the left front? He does.
Yeah, he does.
I wonder where he got that.
Lap traffic?
Yeah, he gave
Possibility.
somebody the chrome horn on the restart.
Oh.
I mean, that's about as minimal damage as you could get, but it's there.
It must be doing something to him because he's losing ground on Nathan Rue now. He's about half a second back from the 25 now. Chuck Sweeting still going. Still, he's about 2.8 seconds off the lead now, though. So that damage definitely affected him in the long run of things here, Frank. You got to think that engine will be getting pretty hot under that hood.
Yeah, there's a chance of that. And also, he started at the tail end of the line. So he wasn't up with these guys when they restarted. So that also plays a role in how far back he is right now.
As he's looking to get around a very slow Mark Eigerbroad, and Eigerbroad now has 90 laps on those tyres. How they have not exploded in a big boom of like flying rubber everywhere, I do not know.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I dare say he's going to run him right down to the cords like he always does.
Yeah, it's not helping him in the long run, though, because he goes for these long runs and it doesn't work out for him in any way, shape, or form. It just puts him in a worse position.
Yeah, and in F1, this would be a rather smart strategy, is what he's doing. Try to take as few amount of pit stops as he can, but in the world of oval racing and NASCAR in general, it's not.
No, it's not at all. It's Wilkie 6 laps down now, and that's not because he's been in pit road, that's because he's genuinely been passed on the track.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Wilkie, he's just been passed again to be put 6 laps down now, as Nathan Roux still trying to extend that gap over Jeremy Johnston. The gap is about a second now, and Johnston just not able to do anything about it. I'm going to assume the reason why he can't do anything about it is because of that damage on his left front, sorry.
That's, like I said, that's about as minimal as it gets. You could just see in the lines that these two are running. Roux is, at least in 3 and 4, Roux is right on the grass. Well, I just heard, Wilkie's around at the start line. Caution's out.
And there it is. Caution flies for the second time here tonight. Marcus Wilkie will be the man to cause that one. Let's have a look. And this man in the 23 has just had a horrid night tonight. There he goes around.
They're probably going to just put that car back on the hauler and call it a night, because the front end of that car is gone.
Yeah, it is.
And if you notice, there's rubber down there, so he's not the only one that's done that. He just goes right into the end in the NASCAR Cup Series sign there at the front straightaway. Just lost it on his own.
Yeah, and he keeps on going, so he's not giving up just yet. Oh, problems for Nathan Roux and pit entry. Actually, not really. Oh, he got turned by Johnston. What was going on there?
I think Roux might have hit the brake. Oh, no, Roux spun. I don't think that was Johnston.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't. It just looked like it wasn't.
Johnson never touched him.
Yeah, no, that was all Roux.
Oh, dear.
Hit the brakes too hard.
He did what Sweeting did last time.
Exactly right.
So this might give the lead back to Jeremy Johnston, and it will. And Sweeting going to stay in pit road and get some damage fixed, I think.
That's the safe play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to stay there for long, as I think the pace truck is right there.
And Brian Bennett has just taken away 3rd place from him, so I think even though Brian Bennett was able to get around it, I think he did it last time during the last caution as well. He gave up that 3rd place to Sweeting pretty quickly, and still some pace in that 54 machine. Just not enough to keep up with the top 2, as Johnston has capitalised on that little mistake by Nathan Roux and has jumped back up to the lead again. Can he hold on to it when we go back to green, though?
He's going to need a short run at the end of this race, with a pit stop very shortly preceding it, if he wants to win this thing. It takes Roux about 5 or 6 laps for that car to start to turn the way he wants it to, and once it does, he's unbeatable.
Yeah, he's been the class of the show here tonight. Class of the race, class of the show, either one. And has shown all-round pace to beat everybody. He's like the NASCAR version of Mercedes right now, so to speak.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So you're saying that there's a blown floor diffuser on the 25?
No, he's got DAS.
Even better. Turbocharger with party mode.
Which basically is a legal, well, a semi-legal, because they're banning it next season, version of a steering assist.
Yeah, if you're not sure of the mechanics of it, basically all the Mercedes drivers have to do is pull the wheel back on a straightaway. It changes the camber in the front tires, changes the angle of the front tires. Then when it gets time to get into a corner, push it in, puts it back normally as we get set to go green here.
Yeah, we do. Green flag in the air once again. Johnson off to a very poor start. Pearson holds him up. Going in towards turn 1. That's going to leave Roux on the outside. And Johnston didn't need that, but still gets around him regardless. And Roux still there in 2nd place. They're going to have to negotiate their way around both Pearson and Eigelbrod, who is finally took it down pit road and got fresh tyres on that thing. As they go around Gil Gork as well now. There we go.
Yeah, that was important, though, for Johnston. to try to see if Gawk could keep Rue from going up and taking the exit the way Rue wanted to. Try to give him some space. Instead, Rue was able to clear Gawk. They're 3 wide going into 1 in the back.
Yes, they are. I've been seeing that in my in the background. And Chuck Sweeting.
There goes
Schultz in trouble into the wall. Not going to bring out a caution, and he's.
No, I think he just
towed.
Yeah, he just towed it. That all started because Schultz had clipped the grass coming out of 2, and then that's what sent him around.
Now look at Nathan Rue now.
This battle for the lead is heating up, and look who's there. Brian Bennett is actually hanging on with this group now. We didn't see that in the last run, as Rue gets under Johnston for the lead again, about 5 laps into the run.
Yeah, and there's that long run pace there for Nathan Rue again, just darting underneath Jeremy Johnson and taking away that lead once again.
Bennett, I think Bennett got loose coming out of 4, had to take a defensive line going into 1 that allowed Sweeting to get to his outside. Boy, it's nice to see a Wrangler number 3 around this place again.
Yeah,
You're
but
not wrong.
Boy, Sweeting way up in the marbles.
we'll just need Bill Elliott's number 9 around here now.
Yeah, that's about it.
That car didn't show up tonight. Because there is one in this league.
Yes, there is.
As a matter of fact, I believe the 20 is the only Thunder Chicken out there right now.
23.
The 20.
Oh, the 20. Bruce Pearson.
Yeah, Bruce Pearson, yep.
He is driving the only Thunder Chicken in the field.
Why you call it a Thunder Chicken? It's a Thunderbird.
Because reasons.
Because Blah Ford, maybe?
You know what you get when you spell Ford backwards?
Yeah.
It stands for driver returns on foot.
Fast only running downhill. Anyway, we could do this all night.
Well, you heard that the new F-150 comes with a heated tailgate, right? So in the wintertime when your buddy's got to push your truck, he doesn't get his hands frostbitten.
There it is. Oh, man. And it's
I want the Raptor anyway. That's the truck I want if I was ever going to get a truck. Have you seen the F-150 Velociraptor?
I have.
It's,
I've also seen the T-Rex Raptor.
Yeah. It's a beautiful truck. It was showcased on Top Gear a few years ago.
Yes, it was. It probably one of the funniest episodes ever. It's just to watch Hammond slowly lose his mind up on that mountain was hilarious.
Only problem is
He never got it back.
no, because then he started a new show and then had another big crash. So you know,
Yep.
there's only so many blows to the brain you can take. Anyway, going back to the race here, Nathan Rue still leading this thing by about half a second over Jeremy Johnson. Brian Bennett still trying to stay with these guys, not doing too badly as he's just under a second behind Jeremy Johnston. He's got Chuck Sweeting keeping him very honest there, and after that it just ends. There's no other battles anywhere else.
Yeah, no, this is the most competitive. We've seen Brian Bennett all race. So we've got, 60 laps to go, 49 laps to go. He's decided, let's turn up the wick. Let's give these guys a fight. And he is.
I also
He's
think he was
hanging
able
in.
to get some. I also think he was able to get some adjustments made during that last pit stop.
Yeah,
And
his
that
car's
team
liking
just
it.
cranking on those weight jackers.
And his car's really liking it. Everyone in this front 4 is separated by just about the same gap.
Yeah, as Johnston not letting Rue get away, Bennett not letting Johnson get away, and Sweeting not letting Bennett get away. This is probably the only battle this is definitely the only battle that's on the track, because the other 4 are just so far apart from each other. You could fit a cruise liner between them.
Yeah, these guys, that's what makes for good racing. They're all keeping tabs on each other. Just, you're not going to get too far away from the front of my car, and if you do, I'm going to show you that you're not going to be able to.
Yep. And while we're in this quiet moment of the race, just want to give a quick mention to the sponsor of this league. That was Summit Sim Racing. They've been sponsoring this league all season long, and will be doing so into the second season as well. So good to have them on board. Also, on our point of view, make sure you check out our Teespring store for ESPN. You can go to teespring.com/ESPN, and you can check out all sorts of awesome apparel on there. We have some league apparel from Paskies to Top Fuel to NASCOM to BRP. We have our own brand. We have our own stuff, like our own ESPN standard stuff as well. And you can get some decent shirts on there, even with favorite slogans on there, like Grandpa Papa Viagra and Green White Checkered, as Byron, or actually I should say it the proper way, Green White Checkered, as Byron says. And you can have Keep It Clean, Keep It Green. They've got all sorts of stuff on there. And if you do decide to buy something and you live in the US, then I do have some good news. There is a promo code. If you put the promo code ESPN20 in there when you go and purchase, you will get free shipping if you live in the US of A.
So is that ESPN 20?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay.
So you're telling me that if I go to order my Grandpa Papa Viagra face mask, I can get free shipping?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yay.
I'm sorry, but with how out of whack your voice is, that yay was just hilarious. Sorry.
Yay and shit.
As Nathan Rue makes his way around Bruce Pearson to put him another lap down, he is now 2 laps down. Doesn't look like... Oh, John Schultz is back out on track. It looks like Marcus Wilkins finally called it a night. He's now 30 laps down. We are 50 laps to go before the end of this race. Made that 49ers across the line. It looks like, unless the wheels fall off... Actually, Brian Bennett has really fallen off the pace here. I'm just going to switch... segue into that one. Brian Bennett has really fallen off the pace here, Frank.
Yeah, he might have had an issue a couple laps ago because Sweeting has fallen off the pace with him. Oh, I think he might have... Well, he was falling off the pace to begin with, and then Schultz coming out of the pits didn't necessarily help him. Schultz was right in Bennett's line, and he had to go around him and slow up a little bit more. So he's... Yes, his car is falling off, but he was a victim of circumstance as well.
Yeah, there's Bennett still staying ahead of Chuck Sweeting here. Nathan Rue still trying to keep Johnston behind him, and the gap is still holding at 0.8 of a second, as Rue just got around Gil Gork right there, put him a second lap down. So the top 4 are 2 laps ahead of everybody else behind them. That is pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah, and that part of that's down to pit strategy, and also part of that's down to these guys are just that quick, and it's been that way all night long. At least with the 3 of Rue, Johnson and Sweeting. Brian Bennett, the major benefactor of hanging in there as long as he could on a set of older tires, waiting for a caution to come out, and he's shown he does have the pace to hang up here.
Now, we haven't yet seen the money stop here tonight. We still probably have one more pit stop left in it before we end this race. And I'm guessing the 2 that are going to come down first, Gil Gork, 65 laps on his tyres, and Bruce Pearson, 64 laps on his tyres. They're going to be coming down pit road pretty soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How many laps do Rue, Johnson, and Sweeting have on theirs, and Bennett as well?
33 for Rue, Johnson and Bennett, 31, well now 32 for Chuck Sweeting.
I wouldn't be surprised if these guys all try to push it to the end. We might have seen the money stop if this thing goes green the rest of the way.
If they do have to bring it down, then Sweeting might have a bit of an advantage here, because he has 2 less laps than the other 3. on his tyres, so that might help him out if Rue, Johnston and Bennett can't make it the whole way.
Yeah, that, and I think everyone has at least one more set of tires. There were only 4 sets of tires, and I believe that includes the set they started on. So that's 3 tires they can change onto, 3 sets of tires they can change onto, and everyone has used at least 2 right now, so that could also play a factor.
Absolutely, as we're still looking at Nathan Rue here now, 1.3 seconds clear of Jeremy Johnson as he comes out of turn 4. This is turning into a bit of a procession now. They are all pretty much spaced out. Not really anything going on right now here, Frank.
Yeah, no, and as you were mentioning the sponsors, it brought my mind, which has been all over the place these last couple days, to our Twitter account. Now, our Twitter has been rather dormant over the last little while here, but we're starting to get it back active again, and if you want updates on what's going on with ESPN and other league knowledge, when the streams are starting, what our broadcasting schedule is, you could go on Twitter at ESPN Official, and we're starting to become a lot more active on there, so give us a follow on Twitter as well to keep up with everything going on with ESPN. Of the
2,800 people that are actually following the Facebook page, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to go over to Twitter and just give us a follow on there as well. I mean, it wouldn't take too much time. Just a couple of clicks.
And stay tuned to both our Facebook and our Twitter feed, as there might be some big news breaking for a new broadcast coming tomorrow night.
Very good.
Might or will?
So far, it's 99.9% certain that it will happen.
Cool. So
there we go. I'm sure we'll make it official tomorrow then.
Pretty much. Yeah, you can join our new producer Kevin Cunyu and Tony Trapasso in the booth for that one, and I think Dylan's joining you guys as well.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. So they're going to be doing some figure of 8 racing at I believe Irwindale. So
yep.
We all know that's Layla's favourite track, so of course it's going to be at Irwindale. So
it is a fun track to drive, especially in the modifieds. That is a fun track to drive. There is one very slick spot coming out of turn 4, though, in those modifieds. It's a little bit of a handful. But other than that, it's a very fun track.
Have you ever taken a modified on the figure 8 at Irwindale?
I have not, no.
I have, and it is a blast.
I can imagine.
I think it's I've taken it on. I've been on the figure 8 in an IndyCar before. That's scary.
Yeah, because I was going to say, they have... week 13, they have the figure 8 race, and I think it's the GT1, the GT1 Corvette, and that the Fanatec group, they run that during week 13 at Irwindale.
Yeah, I think they call it the figure 8 madness or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. Week 13 is only a couple of weeks away though, guys. So
13, sir.
Yeah, week 13, only a couple of weeks away.
Means I gotta run a lot of races at Lucas Oil this week in the Indy Pro Series, because I gotta get my road license up. Otherwise, I'm losing my A license.
Speak for yourself. I lost a lot of SR on my road license at the recent 24 hours of Spa, and I'm looking at being demoted very soon. So I need to get mine up as well. So,
and from what I'm hearing, the F1, the McLaren F1 car, that's getting an upgrade, or that's getting an update to drive kind of similar to what the Formula 3.5 runs like. So that's another reason to get the A license up. And
the LMP2 car's coming out as well.
Yes, it is. They just put a picture out of it, I think yesterday.
Something like that, yeah. So looking forward to that one. I'm an avid Le Mans racer, so I'm a former Le Mans Series champion, so you know.
All right, let's not rub it in there, Scott Pruitt. Thank you very much.
I don't win very often, so I've got to get my
Didn't ask you to brag about it, jeez.
got to get my licks in when I can. But anyway, going back to the race, Root now 2.5 seconds ahead of Jeremy Johnston. This is slowly trickling down, and oh, Johnston, big slide coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, Johnston's pushing to try to make up for lost time, and he's going to slide way up in turn 4. And I think he knows this race is slipping away. He's trying to make up for lost time, and this is just hurting him even more.
Brian Bennett a further 2.5 seconds off of Johnston as well. And something's happened to Sweeting as well. He's fallen to 4 seconds off of Brian Bennett. That damage on his car probably starting to show its true colours here, Tony. He's starting to struggle a bit in that 54 now.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he might start having some overheating problems in that car. It doesn't look like a lot of damage, but he could have pinched a radiator line, and the temperatures are rising, so he's backing off so he doesn't hurt the engine.
Yeah.
And it sounds ridiculous, but yes, iRacing does simulate those sort of things. You can blow an engine from overheating it in these things, definitely.
Well, I blew an engine last night in an i18, and that's damn near impossible.
Well, you'd also bend it, so that's.
I didn't bin it. I got sideways and someone arca braked into me.
Well,
Someone arca braked into you.
Yeah.
We were on the broadcast last night, Sam. I don't know
let me describe what Frank and I both saw in the booth from Sam Cooper Bennett last night. Coming into the final chicane with 2 laps to go.
Oh, you're talking about that one.
Hey, it nearly worked.
Keyword nearly.
All right, that's enough. I nearly got him.
You were 5 car lengths back when you tried to dive bomb him.
You did to poor Timothy Bates what Austin Cindric did to Noah Gregson at Daytona.
Exactly.
Sent it from 150 meters back and scared him off the line.
I didn't scare him off the line. He turned into me.
Well, I bet Cindric scared Gregson off the line. Bates just... If he was looking at his mirror, he would have been scared off the line.
True. But anyway, this race, less than 20 laps to go now. And unless the wheels fall off it, Nathan Root just going to sail this one to victory lane. It seems he's now got a 3.2 second gap over Jeremy Johnston. And I got to say, it's very academic here tonight.
Yeah, unless something major happens. What you're seeing right now is... pretty much going to be your finishing order is Pearson and Gawk. There's about a quarter of a track separating them. The closest battle for position right now is really the 3 and the 75, and those two
1.8
aren't necessarily all that close to each other either.
There's 1.8 seconds separating Bennett from Johnston, so that's pretty much going to be it for the race. Unfortunately, guys, I apologize for the lack of battling we're seeing on the track, but it just goes to show how dominant Nathan Rue has been here tonight.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of guys that he's been fighting with all season long, not showing up. The 99 not showing up, the 27 not here again this week, and that's that dwindles the amount of people that are going to be able to fight him.
Yeah. And we've had 3 retirements here tonight.
He's also been on a mission since Rockingham when the crew put the wrong setup in the car on him. He's been a man possessed since then to try to make up all those points.
He absolutely has been.
Yeah. As there was Nathan Root just coming out of turn 2. We have less than 15 to go now. 14 laps to go. Jeremy Johnston right there. He's going to put another lap on Mark Eigerbroad right here. Eigerbroad 3 laps down. As I will give an update on the tyre life of Gil Gork and Bruce Pearson. 94 and 95 laps on their tyres. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, they've been rolling and working on those tires.
So your prediction might be right here, Frank. They will probably be able to make it to the end here.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. They went a long time on that first green flag stint to. I'm sorry. This has been an awful week for me.
It's okay. We do have a battle starting to brew here, though, because look at Brian Bennett. He's closed that gap to less than a second now here, Tony. He's decided, well, if nobody else is going to make a show of it, I think I will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the fact that, you know, Bennett and Johnson are that close to each other and getting ready to kind of slug it out for the final 10 laps, you know, this could get interesting.
Oh, at the moment, Bennett's struggling to get around Mark Eigerbroad right now, and he finally does get it. Try and get it around him. Going to be very close coming out of turn 4, though. Eigerbroad not letting him get past, is he? Oh, contact, and Eigerbroad's around. Caution will come out here.
Oh, well, now we're staying green.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, no, we stay green, and that's...
Wow.
That's Bennett saying, get out of my way, son. And that's all it takes.
Cost him some time, though. That's cost him half a second. Can he get it back in the next 7 laps, though?
I don't know. It depends on how badly Johnston's tires are worn.
Yeah. So, Johnston still holding on to second, but yeah, already Bennett's already taken 0.2 of a second out of him, so Bennett has got the faster car here as they go through 3 and 4 again to start lap 170 out of 175. And going to keep an eye on this one. This one's getting a bit interesting as Bennett comes down the backstretch right now. The gap now down, well, it's still holding at 1.3 seconds. Going to be 1.4 seconds at the line as Bruce Pearson now finds himself on the back of Gil Gork. So this is a battle for the last spot in the top 5 now.
Yeah,
Wow.
Gork and Pearson getting up to Gil Gork. Remember I said he's pulled up about a quarter of a track on Gil Gork. He certainly has the car.
And this came out of nowhere, and obviously they're coming up to Mark Eigerbroad now. Eigerbroad caused Bennett a few problems a couple of laps ago. Is he going to do the same for Gork and Pearson?
Pearson might have him in the next lap or so. He's got a better run through the center. Gork just barely able to cut him off there, and he's got some ground to make back up here.
Yeah, as we're going to go back to Nathan Rue here. He's about to collect the popsicle sticks. Yeah, he's going to collect both of them, but he's also going to get the popsicle sticks as they are out for 2 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. And it's been pretty plain sailing here for the man in the 25 Folgers machine. No, not really put a foot wrong here tonight, apart from that little spin he had into pit road, but that still didn't put him off. As the white flag comes out here, Frank, bring us home to the end.
Yeah, Nathan Rue has done an absolutely fantastic job here this evening, has been the dominant car all race long. He comes through turns 3 and 4 to collect his 3rd win of the season, his 2nd in a row. Nathan Rue wins at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, another big win there for Nathan Rue, and with Chuck Sweeting having the difficult race here tonight, he'll finish down in P4. Jeremy Johnston will come home in 2nd. Brian Bennett, a great 3rd place for him. Bruce Pearson got Gil Gork at the line there. And a great pass on the last corner for Bruce Pearson. Takes away that 5th spot from Gil Gork, racing right to the end there. Great stuff for the 20, and I believe that's his first top 5 this season. But the big celebration going now down to Nathan Rue, who's burning them down right now on the front stretch, and going to be a very happy man, really putting the nightmare of Rockingham behind him here, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like I said, he's got a lot of points to make up still, but running like that is definitely a way to try to overcome what happened at Rockingham to get those points back off of Chuck Sweeting. And Frank, I believe you've got Nathan Rue right now.
I do not, but I just want to say we know that Igabrod is known for messing around at the end of these races, but he ran right over Brian Bennett, as I would have to assume a direct response to what happened. As Sam, I believe you have.
Yes, I do. Nathan Rue, 2 in a row now. Short of field for you to deal with in this one, and you definitely put on a show here tonight. Got to be happy after 2 in a row now?
Oh, yeah. We really wanted to win here. I love this place. It's so prestigious to win here. So I tell you, we struggled on speed, and I tried to throw something at it late in practice today, actually right before the run, and we just said, you know what, let's just try it out and see, and it worked out really well. The car did exactly what we wanted it to do, and just carried a lot of speed through the whole run, so we couldn't be happier with that.
Yeah, and it looked like you had that car on absolute rails today. I mean, your biggest battle was with Chuck Sweeting for the early part, and Jeremy Johnston as well. Obviously, Sweeting fell by the wayside and had a very difficult race here tonight. That's going to give you a lot of confidence with respect to the point standings now.
Yeah, Chuck's a great racer. I love racing with Chuck, and I don't wish him no bad luck. But that's the kind of finish we need there, is to lead as many laps as we can and kind of get some cars between us to get back in this points battle with so few races to go in the first season. So, that really helped tonight. And great run for Jeremy Johnston, man. He run awesome out there. Brian Bennett as well. That was just fun to put all these cars on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are heading to the next round, we've only got 3 races left out of this one. Do you reckon you can catch Chuck before this is over?
Yeah, I don't know. We hope so. We're going to try our best and try to come to the track with a lot of speed. I don't know where we go next. Bristol, I believe.
Bristol, so yeah.
We're going to have to. We're definitely going to have to find some speed there and just keep this going, because Chuck's really got out there to a lead. And I know we cut some of it away tonight, but we're going to have to keep chipping away at that, and we can't slip up at all. So he's really setting in a good place. But we'll just keep going. And like I said, man, just really excited to win at Wilkesboro. Really wanted this one bad. Love this place, and thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank everybody, Summit Sim Racing. Hopefully we can get some more drivers. I hate we had a short count tonight. I know we're missing some guys, but anybody that wants to join the league, look us up, or you can find us on our page on Facebook, or you can find us even with the broadcast on the ESPN YouTube or Facebook page. So look us up if you want to have some great racing. Come out and run with us. It's a blast.
All right, Nathan Rue in the 25 Folgers machine. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season here tonight. We'll see you next week when we head to Bristol.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So that was Nathan Rue joining me in the booth there, as we are going to find... Oh, well, no, we're not going to find Brian Bennett. Has disconnected, it seems. So that is going to do it for the interviews, unfortunately, because I can't find Jeremy Johnson either. So, guys, very, what shall I say about this race? A very quiet race, so to speak?
Yeah, I would say a very a pedestrian race. We had our battles here and there. But yes, overall, cream rose to the top, as you would expect. We saw a good battle, a couple of good battles between Nathan Rue and Jeremy Johnston, and Chuck Sweeting had his fights in there as well. But I would say a pedestrian race.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to be expecting more action when we head to Bristol next week. Going to be very interesting as we head to the Last Great Coliseum next week, Tony. Bristol always throws up a lot of action and drama there, yeah?
Very much so. And if I don't see a full field of cars trying to qualify for that race, I'm going to be one very disappointed cripple.
Frank, what's your opinion on Bristol?
It's the last great Coliseum. It always provides a great race, and I'm sure in these cars it's going to be absolutely no different. Very excited for next week.
All right, with that, let's go to the results for this race. Actually, I'm just going to quickly do something before I completely lose my mind, because it's been bugging me for the last 10 or so minutes, and no, it's not, because I need the bathroom. My stream deck is playing up again. Let me just give me 2 seconds, folks, as I'm trying to go to the results, but I can't select it without the stream deck, so you know, it is what it is. Anyway, that's sorted now. Anyway, let's go to the results of tonight's race and start. And coming home with the victory was one Mr. Nathan Rue. A very good result for him tonight, and his third win of the season. Coming home in second was Jeremy Johnston. Rounding out your top three here was, with a fantastic drive here, was Brian Bennett. Chuck Sweeten not going to be happy with P4 when it's all said and done, because it was open to maintaining his points lead here tonight, but going to lose a few points after that one. He's going to be P4. P5 going to Bruce Pearson after a battle to the death with Gil Gork, who comes home in P6. P7 will go to Mark Eichenbrod, who got into it with Brian Bennett at the end there. We'll find out what happened later on, as John Schultz comes home in P8. P9 going to Marcus Wilkie. P10 going to Dale Robertson. P11 gonna go to Kevin Turco, who put it on the hauler early, and Randall Folks, another pole race for him tonight. He comes home in 12th and last. So that is going to do it.
Sam, I think, sorry to cut you off. I think Jeremy is here if you still wanted to get that interview in.
Well, yeah, I'd love to.
I think he is here if you're looking for...
Oh, yeah. Let's go and grab him, shall we? As we're going to bring down Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Second place on the night. I did get confused. Good race for yourself. Just didn't have the pace to quite keep up with Nathan Rue.
No, Nathan was blistering fast, and big thanks to him and Randall and Summit Motorsports for putting this thing on and hooking us up with sets in the beginning of the week. But yeah, I wore my tires out trying to run him down, and then after that, it fell off a steep hill.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty with North Wilkesboro. The tires do take a beating around here, and fortunately, you still got a second place out of it. It seemed like a bit of a procession out there. Not very many people out there. Did it make your life easier not having to deal with so much traffic?
No, because it was still hard to pass. It would have been probably worse with 30 cars in here, but it was a difficult place to pass, especially when guys could get up and diamond the top of the corner and come down. It was hard to get underneath of them. Very racy track, very surprising. It was my first race here, and it was very good to get my first top three with this Huey Town special Neil Bonnet paint scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking ahead to next week, we are off to the last great Coliseum in Tennessee. That will be Bristol Motor Speedway. What are your thoughts going to that one? Always throws up a lot of drama and action up there.
Yeah, and you don't know what to expect with these cars here, and the way the track is nowadays. It was a completely different black top back then, so it's going to be real interesting and fun to see where the groove's going to be and how fast these guys can get these cars, because we've been all flying pretty well.
Absolutely, and going to be fun when we go there next week. Before I let you go there, Jeremy, anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to for tonight's second place?
Yeah, big thanks to Nathan Rue and Brian Bennett and Chuck Sweeting for racing McLean, and Nate and Randall for helping do this league and setups and running the league. So just awesome.
All right, Jeremy Johnson in the 75 Valvoline machine coming up in second place. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you next week when we head to Bristol.
Thank you, boys. Great broadcast. See you next week.
Oh, that's move him out there. So that is it for us tonight, guys. Definitely a processional race here tonight, but looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't not look forward to a race at Bristol. If there's usually nonstop action, and I don't care how few cars show up, Bristol is the type of track that you're always going to see something going on.
Frank?
Yeah, definitely excited for next week. It's a great racetrack, and for these cars, I don't think I've seen these cars on this track yet, but so that'll be interesting in and of itself.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us here tonight here at North Wilkesboro. Congratulations going out to the race winner, winning his third race of the season here, Nathan Rue. Don't forget this series is sponsored by Summit Sim Racing. You can see their logo in the bottom left of your screen right there. And don't forget, we do have a Teespring store out there right now, teespring.com/ESPN. Don't forget, you can get all the t-shirts, sweatshirts, and mugs and face masks and all that good stuff. Just visit our Teespring store. And if you do live in the USA, then you can put the code ESPN20 in and you will get yourself free shipping. But that is us for tonight. We will be back tomorrow night with some more stock car racing in the form of the iRacing E-Series. Hopefully I don't lose power again. That was a bit embarrassing last time, but anyway, next week, tomorrow will be that, and hopefully we'll have Tony and Kevin in the booth for you tomorrow with a new league, a short track league, a figure of 8 league, if it does come off. But for now, that is going to do it for us here in ESPN here at North Wilkesboro. All that's left for me to say is from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, from Frank Marchese and Tony Trapasso in the booth. Have yourself a great evening and keep it clean, keep it green. Have a good night.